welcome to the RPG Blender, where we give lesser played games or forgotten settings the roll of the dice they deserve. I'm your host, Game Master George, thrilled to welcome you to the next chapter in our adventure. Our heroes have arrived in the city of Mahalanka and met the cannibal queen. Can they avoid being the next main course? Find out as we explore a new land of power and ancient secrets in Exalted. Dinner with Raksi.
All right, let's go. This is going to be so much fun.
Mountain in the back, just like, we're never gonna make it back in time.
Okay. You make your way back down to the ground floor. When you make your way out of the building, you see that carriage is there in front.
Cool. Just as a point of note, because I don't know if it will come up, but I don't want to seem like I'm fudging it later. I would have been like, Adramalik, I'm taking some of this jade, like on the trip to the new city.
Oh, the money to buy things? Yeah. I mean, Adramalik has, he's always got money on him.
Yeah, now you are filthy rich, so I'm like, I'm just gonna, you don't mind if I'll pay you back, but like, I'm gonna get some.
I'm good for it, you know.
My wealth is your wealth. We're all part of the same family now.
Filthy rich with a finite instead of the resources which continually refill. Okay. And you head off into the town. In which direction do you head, since you don't know what anything is?
Is there anyone to ask? Or is there like
the river?
Yeah, George, I'd like to, before we go anywhere else, just like sort of ascertain the distance via carriage, because we're now familiar with the speed of this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in regards to like getting around to the middle areas as well as to the neighboring villages in the wilds, how fast
The villages you would not reach in time.
we would not reach those in time. Okay.
But getting into town itself, maybe 30 minutes, 45. The outside of town was more just to give you like the direction of what's happening, you know, not necessarily distance once you're actually out of the city for those villages.
Is the area between the towers well populated? Like, are there people in this area? Are there other buildings, or is it just the three towers?
It is just the three towers and wildlife.
Wow, no people.
Maybe we should ask 3-7.
Yeah, I think it's worth
We
us
should-
getting a sort of indicator of where the spots of
It's
interest are.
4763.
All right. I say.
And we find hopefully 4763. Not that
Or
we
just
can
someone who
probably
looks
tell
just
much of a
like him,
difference.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are, as you are, if you are within the tower, you see multiple of these moving around.
Are they all
Pointed
identical?
Yes.
Oh no. Do they have like a number tag? Excuse me, we're looking for 4763. Have you seen 4763?
Give me a luck check. Roll your essence.
Oh my god. Is it just like a raw essence roll?
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm always looking for interesting ways to do luck rolls. You know that.
That's a
Ooh.
1. That was
That's
better than I
great.
thought.
Yeah, out of 2. That's
4763 is currently working on cleaning one of the upper floors.
Oh no, I told him I didn't
maybe
have to do
maybe
that.
you know then. Is there a place like a market or anything within the city close by that we could explore, walk about?
The Roaring Market, you would be able to find most anything that you could desire.
Excellent, we'll go there. And thank you. Just so we know your name. What's your name when we come back?
I am 6729.
Okay, thank you. Wow, that's significantly more. Are you a different model than 4763? Because you look identical.
I do not know what you mean.
Are there any other places of interest besides, you said, the Roaring Marketplace? Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. What
Where do
would
other guests go?
typically there, though it depends on their desire.
To get a good taste of this city.
The Roaring Market is where you will find the most lively citizenry.
That'll do then. Thank you.
When is the last time there was another guest here?
I'm afraid I do not have that information to disclose to you at this time.
Completely fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see you later, 6749.
As we walk away, Durham gives a knowing glance to Mountain.
Yes, I asked 4763 when the last time someone had visited that upper floor, and he didn't know that information either. He said he would request it for me, but he didn't seem to know. It kind
They
of
told me
perturbs me.
no. I don't think it's relevant to our interests, but I think what is relevant is this is a lot to give to us, even if you have everything.
Well, we
So
are
the
not
question-
any normal individuals.
But we are to a queen who's apparently lived for hundreds of years.
Where
Well,
am I
if we
at
serve to
right
further
now?
her interests, it's in
That's-
her interests to help us.
I
and
think
to cater
she's
to our...
courting us.
Correct.
I think she's
That's not
courting
so
us
bad.
to beat. No, it's not. But I think that's something we should all have in our heads. So that way, if she says, "Will you join my empire of the rising moon?" we are all kind of already ready for that and what we, want to say. So that way, we're not being insulting or jumping on the boat without discussing, etc.
She's showing us the best that she has to offer. It's up to us to find out what she's hiding.
To see if she is someone we wish to ally with fully. I agree. I just wanted to do it after dinner so we could have a pleasant dinner.
Yes, well, creature comforts and objects and all of that are gaudy and nice, but at the end of the day, it's the people who can tell you the most about what it's like living here.
I
So I
agree.
think our best way to ascertain whether or not she's a fair and just ruler is to speak with them. And what better place than a market, am I right? Oh.
Some ground rules for the market. No stealing.
Why would I steal from the market?
I'm saying it to both you and Dirham. Dirham might steal too. I said it to everybody, even Uba. There are
You,
three
right.
of us
I
you
here.
might-
looked
I
at me
might
when I
steal.
said that. Uber never
I
takes
s-
anything unless I
Looks
tell him to.
incredibly dejected when you say that.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so we've all agreed to no stealing. And you know what? I don't think we need any of the rules right now. I feel like no stealing's a pretty good rule. No, when I say ground rules, I think it was just ground rule. Anyway,
so
let's go.
murder is on like that's not off limits, right? We could do whatever else we want, just no stealing.
You know that answer. You don't need to say that.
He didn't say anything. I say as I walk out the door.
I mean, I'll just follow you and say, hey, you decide how you want this party to go.
I'm kidding. It was a joke.
I'm joking too.
Oh wait, so I can steal?
No, that was
Not that I
not
would.
a joke.
Oh,
The first part
ah.
wasn't a joke. The
Carriage,
rebuttal.
please, to the roaring marketplace.
The
As he
carriage
climbs
leads to the
in.
roaring marketplace.
How far is it to the roaring marketplace? Because this is super important.
At the speed that the carriage will go within the city, it would take roughly 30 minutes.
So we
have an
can be
hour
at the
shop.
market not long.
An hour. An hour to
Yes.
shop is plenty of time.
Last time
Plenty
we
of
had an hour
time
to
to make us
shop,
delay.
we had 30 episodes.
I'll just tell George what I'm looking for right off the bat. I want to look the part for this dinner. I'm looking for
Oh yeah, we should look
clothes
nice. That's actually
that
smart.
match the culture. So whatever their attire is, rather than my tight-fitting ninja black garb, I'm gonna have.
I'm gonna go a bit the opposite. I want to look nice, but I want to look nice in the way that I look. So I still want to look like a northerner, but I'm gonna get something more nice for a royal dinner. And I know Dirham isn't gonna do anything. So while me and him are getting measured, I immediately do the same thing for Dirham.
So you do exactly what led to the 30 episode side mission, which is go to look for clothing, which will let you
Yeah.
blend into the local color.
We're not trying to blend in this time. We're dressing how we
trying to
dress.
look nice.
It's just nicer. He's blending, and we're not looking for a dumb store. We're going into a nice store. We're looking for a nice place to get nice clothes.
And
When
while
you
we're in there,
reach-
we're only looking for clothes, not runes or hexagons or sigils.
And
around
anything
the
you do
perimeter.
to us and anything you make us see is your fault.
The roaring market is abundant with its resources. You see intricate ironware. You see, don't know what that is, so I'm not going to say it. You see cacao beans from far off places. You see more exotic things, strange plants, which you're not immediately familiar with. You see what look like mercenary bands, which are hawking some suspicious wares, but you do easily enough find people who are selling nice clothing.
I'm looking for a tailor.
Yes, tailoring included.
Yes.
Tailoring included, demonic sigils not.
We're not looking. I don't care if they're there.
Yeah,
And-
Ajamalik will look for the brightest and most colorful, like flamboyant outfit that he can.
I'll tell
that
you whether or not
still
that's a good
fits within the like of the people, like whatever the dress shop owner is wearing themselves. Perhaps something that's nice, but colorful.
So,
Uh-oh. I'm sorry.
no, yeah, you can give me your charm immediately lets you know the correct mannerisms and customs, correct?
Yes.
But that's about actual mannerisms. That's not about knowing.
Yeah, let me look.
clothing.
It's
Dress,
1,000. I
yeah.
think it's custom, so 1,000.
I mean,
while
I
you're-
will
while you're
ask
looking that
I'll
up,
look it
the
up.
shop
But either
owner,
way,
I
he's
guess.
As
getting
you
colorful
travel-
stuff.
as you
Yeah.
travel throughout the city, you see a wide range of different peoples. You see the well-dressed individuals. You see the less well-dressed on the outskirts, on the back streets that there are clearly those who are not so well off in this city of 1,000 golden delights. But of the most obvious is you see the beast folk traveling this area with a wide berth around them. They are given deference and avoided when possible.
Deference, like people revere them because they are ascended, or
deference like
fear.
You are in charge here.
I mean, that checks, right? That's the.
So this charm does not grant the Exalt perfect understanding of society, but covers greetings, eating, and gift customs and flirtation mores. So I would think with gift, then dress might have to do with that. But again, I feel like this is kind of a your discretion thing. So I don't understand perfectly, but I might get an inclination like, oh, don't wear that. That might be a faux pas. Like don't wear purple. I don't see anyone wearing purple except this guy. We don't know what this guy's about, kind of a thing.
Okay.
So I might be able to pick up on things like that, but it's not specific.
Yeah, but between your
clothes.
charm and theoretically consulting the tailor.
Yeah, and this charm eliminates all penalties for incurring an unfamiliarity cultural faux pas.
Which
nice.
Yeah, which is a thing.
That's useful.
Else. Between all of that, you're able to acquire appropriate dress for the meeting.
Excellent.
Nice.
It can be as opulent as you choose, ranging from merely very nice to gaudy.
Gaudy, definitely going gaudy. Because my room is gaudy, I have to part. It's definitely very colorful. If I can have 3 or more colors in the outfit, that'll definitely be it. And bright colors, nothing very muted.
With your actual tailoring, this will eat up the vast majority of your time.
Hiram will not be there if they are just specifically going for clothes, but instead observing the common populace. And
I call you in to get measured every now and then, but yeah, then you can go back out and watch everybody. So it's going to be gaudy. I'm going to dress nicer, but kind of practical. And I'm going to make something more practical and nice for Dirham. So it's kind of like going down. So I'm like, Dirham won't wear this if I put this on it, but he could actually wear this and he can get it all fucked up, but it's not fucked up right now. So it's great for meeting a queen.
Question is, will Dirham actually wear it? Find out later.
That's a good question.
Dirham, what are you doing then? You're just observing the populace?
Dirham is standing outside of the shop and kind of just walking about a bit, not too far from them per se, to make sure that Mountain doesn't freak out from chaos and bedlam ensuing from side quests. But specifically trying to identify like populace that looks like they are keeping to themselves, maybe a little impoverished, someone that he could approach.
Okay, perception awareness, please.
Very well. I'm gonna give it a little juice just to make sure I find the perfect candidate.
Good call. Good call.
3, awareness for 4. One of my new updates.
Nice. Hey, that was a good investment.
Yeah, boy. And I will pump 4 into that. 2, 4. Oh my gosh, 4.
Nice. Okay. While you were traveling, you saw that there was a larger grouping of more low status housing, the more ramshackle places in the district a little bit further south. But you do see in the backdrops of this splendor of this marketplace, you do see some of these tenements where you see some of the more impoverished people gathering.
Aaron will just observe a bit and see what's going on amongst them. Keep his distance, but
for the most part, they're just going about their normal lives. However, if they see one of the beast folk approaching, they do more quickly separate from their peers.
At a moment in which that experience of separation occurs and Dirham sees it happening, I guess the second time, should he see like 2 separate occurrences, he'll try and approach somebody who splits apart to sort of interact with them for a moment.
Okay. You approach a young man, maybe in his early 20s, although I guess to you that's an older man. Or no, how old is Dirham?
Dirham's like in his 30s.
Okay, so a young man in his early 20s of a slight build, obviously not well fed, but lithe and active, wearing some simple clothing, with some ragged hair on his head. And you approach. Okay. As he clocks you drawing near, there's a moment of looking around like, huh? Come in my direction. Uh-oh, what did I do?
Deer will go
Use your socialize.
go into
You
I'm
are
gonna talk like
carrying
a person.
a giant sword on your back, and
I have a giant sword and a
flame.
classically wrapped up in its
Yeah.
in its trappings and whatnot. But
Mhm.
yeah, those things definitely sitting on his back. He will reach into his pack and grab one of the like bottles that we got from the self-replicating doodad.
Mhm.
As Dirham tried to store some of that stuff away and go, hard times, perhaps a drink can help.
Looks around. I'd never turn down a drink,
Good.
but
And
of course, this is Mahalanka. Everyone prospers here. This is
surely everybody does. And he'll flip the bottle in his hand so the bottom of it is now pointing in his direction and extend it to him.
He'll reach out slowly and take it. You're
I'm-
not from around here?
Correct. But eager to learn about the average going-ons of this delightful city.
What would you like to know?
Well, I guess to start, you and yours seem a little skittish, he says as his eyes dart to like the nearest pack of beast men and back to him.
He looks around. And you can give me your charisma presence.
No!
Socialize?
Here we go, baby.
No.
Socialize?
No.
Does he get a stunt for doing all the cool beer stuff?
Yes, he can have a 2-dot stunt.
Nice,
Oh,
nice,
boy.
nice, nice.
All right, so the 2-dot step for 2 dice, +1 for my charisma, plus a 0 for my presence.
I should have taught you
Plus
some
the automatic
presents.
success.
That's
Plus
on
the
me.
automatic success. It's a 2-dotter. You get an automatic success.
Okay, impressive. 4. That's 3 successes on 3 dice.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Wow. Nice.
The man looks immediately wary, but perhaps it was the gift you offered, or perhaps it's just something about the way you smile that he looks around and then gestures to a nearby building.
He'll look back at the tailor
Tailor
shop
shop.
for a moment.
You piece of shit.
And then
You
go.
side quests, son of a
Here
bitch.
we go, baby.
He'll start walking a little quicker. Just a quick conversation. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I guess for a luck thing, I'll have you guys roll opposed essence.
Sure.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
If Mountain gets higher successes, then he will notice, or rather, he will get a chance to notice. And if Dirham does not, then Mountain does not look out at that moment.
Got a 9 and an 8.
Ooh.
An 8 and a 1.
All right, perception awareness versus dexterity stealth.
I have failed every one of these so far this session, so if we keep
Yes.
on keeping on, and I'm definitely not going to pump this because I don't think anything's
not-
wrong.
I'm not
just
pumping
like,
it.
where's this asshole?
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
4.
you're keeping an eye on me because I'm the one that you trust
It's hard,
least.
exactly. I'm just going outside to be like, hey, let him get your inseam, and then he's just not there. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch, if he's erasing runes.
I swear to God.
Yeah, take that, queen.
That's 2 10s
Oh no!
and 2 9s.
I got a 10, an 8, and a 7. You
All
got it.
right. So then in that moment, Mountain, you spot Dirham as he is entering a building down an alley nearby.
What's wrong, Mountain? You have that face that you look like when you were angry at me. But I've been here this whole time.
So yeah, I go, Andrew Malik, I will be right back. And I just kind of like
You have to make sure the measurements for the shoulders are correct. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for you to like.
I know he's got my measurements. I'm gonna go get the other measurements and bring them back here. And I just
All right.
walk toward that.
Do
building.
take care.
All right, as you're getting more feathery, like whatever is
Yes.
sewn here, like.
All right. Dirham, meanwhile, he leads you into a fairly rundown building. Nothing like the opulence that you've been exposed to previously. He gestures to a table, worn and pitted on the wood, and to a chair nearby for you to sit.
Dirham does so.
He grabs a couple wooden glasses from nearby, puts them down, and pours a drink for each of you.
So, how long have you been here?
My life. Been here my whole life.
Has it been like this? He says, motioning to the room. Your whole
Pretty
life?
much. Moved up a little bit.
Do you have room to continue moving up, or is this about as far as it goes?
There's room. There's room. It's not like I'm a slave.
I'm sure there's a place for them here, though.
Yes. Those conquered.
But you were born here, not conquered.
That's correct.
Interesting.
Of note, the one thing that you did not see sold in the market was slaves.
Good move, everybody.
And where would those people be?
They'd be at work for whoever took them.
But just all throughout the city, not specifically for the queen or any other individuals. Property as needed.
No, property of those with the strength to claim them. The raids.
At which point, Mountain, you arrive at the door.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna stand there and listen. It doesn't sound like he's getting mugged.
Okay.
So I'll hang out there. I'm trying to be quiet, but I'm me. So, I'm just listening at the door for now, and I will decide when it's time to get near him.
If you wanted to leave, could you?
If I wanted to leave, where would I go?
Is it possible that there's a better place than here? Do you like it here?
I live.
That doesn't mean you like. Is it a good life?
Is a safe life.
But is it good?
What is good?
I suppose a life full of motivations, things to look forward to, loved ones.
I work. I have my family. We don't have the threats of invasion, raiders. So as good as I could hope for out here. The stories I've heard, there are plenty of places that are far worse.
And why the reactions out in the street?
They are our protectors here, so they are afforded certain leeways. They are the judges here. If they see you doing something you should not, they have the authority to act. And there are some who stretch that.
Oh, God.
Just
I'm
curious,
hungry.
what's
You're
the
correct.
short list of things that you should not be doing?
Theft, violence, I think the normal things, but while it is frowned upon and outwardly punished, there are those who may see things that don't happen.
Is that commonplace here?
It depends on the day.
Is it common?
So we got some cops who can exert vigilante justice with no oversight.
Nah, they're just beastmen. They might be like, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah,
Guess who's
they're
getting
like-
hooked in the face? You.
Yeah, they're the authority. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other individuals beyond those beastmen who also stand jurisdiction and it's like a judge, as you said?
They are
Us?
the honored few. They are the ones who are Raksi's chosen.
I'd like this conversation to stay private.
So would I.
Good. And I think I only have two more questions. What's your true opinion of the queen here?
I don't know if you
She
can
is
answer.
great.
Oh, no.
She is the provider. She is our safety and our source.
Would you say she is a caring queen?
The silence is telling.
She protects.
Among
That's-
her chosen, do you know of Laura of Autumn?
No, I don't know that name.
Well, I sincerely appreciate you giving me this time. And he'll slide the glass back over to him. Enjoy.
I appreciate the drink.
The least I can do. And he
Stay
gets up.
safe.
You too. And he'll turn
soon
and
as you-
walk out the door.
As soon
Okay,
as you
the
get out the
door.
door, I'm just there taking up the alleyway. Just arms.
God! You can't just okay. And
Yeah,
he'll just start walking.
I like open like a door and let you pass, and then
Just
continue.
walks through. He knows the steps.
All right, you make your way back. You finish up your what little time
Clothing.
remaining with your clothing, and then you head back.
Yes.
Do you actually
Yes.
keep to the time frame?
Yes.
No, no side quests, no side diversions. You don't go to the Road of Idols, or
No.
Oh, halfway
I go
on the way
home because
back,
I gotta take a bath. I need.
Adramalik remembers that Uba needs an outfit too, and he's like, "Oh, we got to turn around. You know."
I just hold the doors closed. I'm just.
No, but Uba, what is he going to wear? He can't just be there naked.
I know
What if
for a
he-
fact that you packed Uba's vests. I know for a fact you packed Uba's vests.
Okay, yes, but they're not culturally relevant, right? I mean, how am I going to find anything that? Fine.
I think that anyone seeing a monkey get vest is going to be pleased. I'm always pleased when I see Uba in a vest.
That's true. Uba, you look good in a vest, don't you?
It's all good.
all right. You make your way back, and you begin your preparations for the dinner.
I wash up. I get my clothes on, my nice new clothes on. I'll head out.
Dirham, do you wear the nice new clothes?
I do give you clothes that are nicer. They're not opulent, but they are at least clean and freshly made.
Dirham gives you a flat look. You know I have no interest in wearing any of this, correct?
I do, but as per our lessons, so basically I just take it and I put it like towards you. Per our lessons, sometimes it is not always about what we want to do, but the expectations of others around us.
Yes, it would be quite unexpected if you walked in there naked, Dirham. So please, wear the clothes, right?
I don't have an interest in posturing here. I'd rather be who I am, how I am for her.
And that is why I gave you new clothes that are simply not frayed, not stabbed, not having old blood on them.
It's not as exaggerated as mine, because of course I have to look the best, but it does look pretty nice. I mean, comparably.
You can get these clothes to the state that your clothes are in probably a very short amount of time. I just wanted to get you something new to wear for this dinner. I'm not taking away who you are. It is simply a fresh coat of paint. And it's not about posturing. It is about, there's a certain amount of respect that comes from saying, I am here and I am doing things for you as you have done things for me.
This is a individual who respects strength, and we're putting on pretty clothes to eat a dinner with her instead of wearing the
Armor?
clothes.
You want to go on armor?
That would be a little weird.
I would exactly
sometimes.
wear what I have. Yes.
I'm going to wear my armor maybe then, because you bring up a good point. But
We are rivaling powers that are meeting with someone who, frankly, we could be leaders meeting as dignitaries here. I don't have an interest in dressing like a vassal.
we're not dressing as vessels. We're
You
dressing
think
as...
this is the outfit of a vassal? This has gold on like the encrusted
example.
tips.
Like I'm like, okay, that's a bad example, but
I am not going to say you both shouldn't do that, but I think there stands to reason to have us skirting both sides of this, showing that we are willing to acknowledge, but we are also willing to show.
I think that if she
that's
wants
fair.
us to show things, and again, I put the clothes like on the nearest chair for you to decide. I think that if she wants us to show something, we'll be showing something, and I'll leave to my room to bathe, put on my new clothes.
Okay.
Dirham, if you're not going to be changing, could you help me give Uber a bath? He doesn't really like it, and sometimes he might flail around. I just, before I get dressed, because if I do it by myself, it's going to take
I
even longer.
close the door while this conversation is happening, so now neither me nor Adramalik can reopen the door to Dirham's room.
Okay. So you all get ready and meet down at an hour or so later.
Yeah.
Ready for the dinner. So, Dirham, the important decision. What did you wear?
I think Dirham does not wear the complete outfit.
You put on the new shirt, but
I
leave
think
your
he
pants.
I think his vestments stay on top of it, but he's got fresh pants and fresh shirt.
Mhm.
But his like war-torn like jacket is still like adorned, and he's washed up. He's groomed, so he doesn't look like he's been traveling on the roads for weeks.
Okay. All right. So then you head to you head down below. Do you walk to the tower or do you take the carriage?
Well, we can walk. We have enough time.
It's right there, right?
It's a fair distance away, but you have time to walk if you choose.
Let's
We'll
walk.
walk.
I'm going to say I do a little bit of combination. I'm not going to wear my chest piece, but I'll keep on like my bracers and like leg pieces and stuff. So it's like I'm a fighter, but like also I don't expect you to kill me. Though I don't leave my gauntlets behind because that would be crazy.
Okay.
Adramalik will wear none of his armor. But he will also intentionally like have like that V cut in his neck to show like a little bit of like exposed chest. So it's like, you can also see that he's not wearing armor.
And you make your way to the tower. Once you arrive, you are greeted by a number of the ape folk out front. You're ready.
Yes.
Indubitably.
Leads you through inside of the tower, up a flight of stairs, and into a grand ballroom. What you've seen before, it matches here in the splendor. You see a massive chandelier from the ceiling, all touched with gold, inlaid with jewels, with crystals dangling from below, which refract the light. The table itself is long, clearly meant for a far larger party than is being met here. Raksi is not present at this moment, but you are ushered within, and you see numerous chairs lining this long table. But you can see that the ones at the far end are currently set for dinner.
That's where we will go.
How many seats are set?
5.
6. Ooh.
Is there a chair for Uba? Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Lore. Lore's eating with us.
Yep.
Adramalik will not recognize this fact, and he will have Uba sit down.
I
in the chair next to
immediately
him.
recognize this fact, and I'm like, Uba, you sit over here with your buddy.
Aw, big chair.
You can have there are other chairs. I pull out a chair for him, and I give him one of the little plates from Adramalik's setting. And I'm like, there you go.
Big chair, big chair. Big chair, big plate.
That's up to Adramalik. That's not my call.
Yes, no, that's right. Thank you for helping him, Mountain.
He's a good guy, and I give him a little like just finger pat because Uba's head is so tiny.
The door opens at that point, and
Is it
in
customary
walks...
to stand up?
Yes.
You have to tell me. I
Yes.
stand up.
Do you all stand up?
Yeah.
I think makes a point to follow Mountain's lead, knowing he understands.
And in walks Lore, and several paces behind her, an older woman in fine robes with neatly braided hair running down nearly to the ground.
Does this lady age every day to like her full lifespan and then go back into a baby every morning? Anyway.
Go ahead. Dirham, you can give me perception awareness.
Screw it. I'll pump a bit. I'll throw 3 more into this bad boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
All right. You do indeed see the backward bending wrists here. Now, with long nails, long sharpened nails at the end of each fingertip.
Oh, she's never in her real form.
Dirham will
Jesus Christ.
say under his breath, a different form.
Does it look like an older version of the person we saw?
Not even remotely.
So she just turns into whoever the she wants.
She just turns into whoever she's eaten.
And
that I understand too. Yeah.
Lore makes her way over to the open seat. What seat did you leave for Lore?
One next to Raksi, I would assume.
Yeah.
Well,
and then we'll sit Dirham next to
There's
Lore.
There's a head at the table, and then
Head
2 and 2.
2.
So why don't we sit Dirham next to Lore, since that makes sense, and then I'll be at
And I'll
the
be
other
next
side.
to you.
So, yeah. So basically, I'm gonna be next to the queen, so that way if she starts punching
Yes.
somebody, that should in theory be me.
And then I'll be to your
Everyone
left.
else will be.
I'll be.
If someone's got to get punched, it should probably be me.
And then that way, Uba is the furthest from Raksi as well. Uba
Exactly.
is the furthest.
We're keeping the most important character safest. Yes.
Dirham's obviously on the outer to allow Lord the inner across from Mountain.
Okay. So Roxy makes her way in.
Oh, good. You all made it. I'm thrilled to have you here for this meal. Please seat yourselves. The food will be served shortly.
Thank you, gracious host.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
And you all sit.
Yeah.
Dirham-
I mean,
Dirham
at
takes a
her, she
seat.
said sit, so yeah.
She
I
offered
sit.
us to sit, so I sit.
She
Dirham also
sits.
makes obviously a very specific point to keep aware of Lore's mannerisms, just sort of training on what she's up to.
Okay. Lore is being very careful and precise in her movements.
Does she look like she's dressed differently, or is she wearing the same garb as before?
Nicer. She's dressed nicer.
Hmm.
Okay. After you all sit, more of those creatures that you met in your tower make their way in, carrying dishes, steaming meat, massive plates of vegetables and fruits. Every kind of food you could hope for. Although, can give me perception awareness.
I'm gonna use my sniffer just so you know. I'm gonna try really hard not to eat human meat.
Yes, you can give me.
While the food is being served and whatnot, Dirham will take a small moment to lean slightly close to Lore and say, "You look nice."
She turns towards you and gives a nod of appreciation.
This class is coming in real handy, man.
He listened, he's a
Yeah.
student. Pump a little more on this one too, because I don't want to eat people.
I'll definitely direct you guys what to try, just not to be, they'll be like, don't eat that, that's people. Be like, oh, this is the beef. God, it smells like it's going to be really good, this beef.
Astro Malik doesn't eat meat anyways, so he's
So
only
you're
helping
safe,
himself to
but
the
the rest of
vegetables.
us are not as safe. That is 4 successes. I'm really just trying to stick to things that I know. So if I'm like, that's pork or that's beef, I'm like, that's what I mean. If it's like new exotic meat, I'm just not going to eat that.
Dirham got a 2.
All right. All of the food looks very good. Some of it is not familiar. The one that you cannot place is the one that is closest to Roxy.
I'm not going to ask for none of that shit.
Oh no, it's person.
So you all help yourselves to food, carefully avoiding the one that is near to her.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll point out, I'll be like, oh, this pork looks delicious. And I look at Dirham and say, you should try this. And I'll take some and put it on my plate.
The meal continues with small talk, nothing terribly pertinent. Roxy herself contributes very little to the conversation, focusing on the food itself.
Got to get those new forms.
Before roughly when you finished about half of your plate, she says,
Oh, my apologies. I have neglected the entertainment. Yes,
she lifts a hand and snaps it, and from the nearby doorway enters
Oh no. Here we go.
a fairly large contingent of these ape folk. And you can see that they are carrying chains, and these chains are attached to a person.
Oh no.
This person is obviously beaten and broken down. And you can see that there is still, despite that, a haughtiness about them.
I am going to say, oh, who is this? Like looking at Raksi and lure toward the entertainment person.
Yeah, Astromalic's expression will immediately sour when he sees this.
I'm hoping it's a criminal, so I'm almost stoked. I'm like, we're just gonna do a little weird execution. I'm not into it with dinner, but maybe it's not gonna be so bad. But also, I'm trying to remember Laura's words and be
One
strong.
of the usurpers captured during a raid.
What is a usurper? I know what a usurper is, but give me some kind.
One of the those of the dragon.
Oh, out this far?
Oh no, we caught them on the outskirts.
Which city? Where did you which one specifically did you catch this one from? Is there, George? Can I make a like super insane luck roll?
I mean,
Sure.
Is this
Four?
Jasper? Is this Jasper? Is this my childhood friend who became dragon blooded? I mean, depending on which city
You can make
they catch-
a super unlikely luck roll.
Okay,
so if you get
how-
2 10s.
Yes. If you get 2 10s, it's Jasper.
Gonna say,
I got it.
following this, Dirham's just gonna try and
No.
see if this rings any bells among his history with the Dragon Blooded.
Okay. What part? If what part? The usurpers?
The individual. No,
Oh, the individual? Okay.
Anybody from our experience while we
Oh,
were
right,
serving.
we did
Someone
know.
had a good, one of the viewers had a good suggestion on what should be a memory roll, and that is integrity.
Oh no, I'm good at that. I don't want to remember. Don't make me remember.
So I will take an intelligence integrity roll.
Okay, well, I'm bad at that second one, so here's hoping.
I got to pump.
You're gonna pump?
I gotta.
All right, I'll pump too. You suck.
We gotta know if it's a scumbag or not.
But they're all gonna kill us, aren't they? All scumbags in their own way.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we gotta make the flow, man. We don't stay in the flow. We become the
I got
rock that divides the river.
4.
I got 2.
Okay. Neither of you have seen this.
Oh, thank God.
before. He's led out with his escort, and they, upon reaching the far side of the room, drop the chains, and the man immediately gains a new fire about him, as you can see little wisps of essence, flaming essence, beginning to burn off as he moves to break the chains, break his binds. The guards then draw their cudgels, swords nearby, and unless any of you choose to intervene,
they begin beating him.
Is this
Or
the
they're
end?
about to begin beating him.
they absolutely engage in pitched combat between the beast folk and the prisoner on the far side of the room.
Does he have a weapon, or he's
He
just
does
got-
not have a
he's-
weapon.
Is
He's
he
got-
still chained? He's still bound?
He uses some of the chains to whip out and attempt to utilize them as a weapon.
Oh.
And he does manage to take down 2 of them before he is himself.
He kills them?
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I don't want to interrupt the scene, but like as we're watching, unless again I know it's a faux pas to be like, "Hey, Raksi," and she's like, "This is my stories. You interrupt during my stories." But otherwise, I'm like, is this the entertainment, the execution? Are your people not in danger?
This is entertainment and education.
It seems hardly sporting if he doesn't have a weapon. I mean, what chance is he going to have if you're just going to have him chained the whole time?
The sport was when he was captured.
This is more of a sec. He was dead when that happened. I understand.
Yes.
At which point, unless any of you
know.
choose to
Scene
intervene, the final blow is struck.
I am.
It's,
Yeah, I am not going to piss off the cannibal queen for a dude that's going to kill me later. Like that's not. Like this isn't the time to play that hand.
Dirham stays silent through the extent of this interaction, but he again sort of tries to take a temperature on Lore.
Yeah.
Give me your perception socialize. And Adramalik, are you doing the same?
Yeah, no, he only had qualms because he thought this was a slave, but hearing that it was a captured dragon blood kind of made him not feel bad about that. Which is kind of bad in and of itself. But
How does Mountain feel about that? About someone that was beaten now being...
So here's my thing, and that's what I was trying to figure out during, because my thing is that you can't abuse those that you have power over. But if the thing is it's like this is just an execution, it just happens later. I am actually kind of more like I don't like that the monkey people are going down. Like so, I would actually have a more reaction to that because I'm like,
Well, do you feel it's appropriate for you to roll your limit?
unnecessary
It's
loss
only
of
a
life.
limit. It's only a limit if I don't intervene.
But you didn't.
Well,
Before Rich makes a decision on what Mountain does in
Mhm.
regards to this, I got a 4 for my perception, socialize, and assessing lore.
All right. This time you get a read on Lore, and she seems unfazed by this display.
and I imagine because the combat takes place like it is like a combat, and so I'm watching. So if I start to see the 8 men like backing up, like obviously like, oh crap, he's like gaining some ground on him and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I will point at the combat and say, do you mind? And like kind of like crack my hand.
She looks at you curiously. By all means.
I say thank you. I put my napkin on the table, and then I will immediately join and try and like literally like as blows like start coming toward like monkey people, anything that looks like it's finishing. I'm much more there as like a defensive measure. Like I'm just trying to like get in the way, stop final blows and stuff like that. And obviously like I'll defend myself. So if I get scuffed up and stuff during, like I'm fine with that.
Okay. You can give me a roll to see
Do you want me to roll brawl? Do you
yeah,
want me to
brawl. Give me brawl.
And if I also feel like this is being drug out too far, then I might be like, I'm going to end this quickly, because if this is going to be an execution, then I'm going to make it an execution. And we're going to give it a 2 pump, if that's okay.
While
so I'm not pumping all the way.
While he's rolling his biz, can I throw a perception awareness at seeing if I notice a cast sign on this guy?
Dragon blooded do not have cast signs.
Oh, so
He's got an
the
element,
modes are
right?
coming.
Yeah.
This is okay. Got it.
Is he
What you
fiery
see is
motes?
instead,
What
yes,
kind of motes?
fiery essence, fiery
Okay.
emissions.
Got it.
It
That's
is
1, 2.
very obvious.
Mhm.
So 3 10s, 3 successes, and I don't know if the description gave me a 1 dot or anything like that, but either way, I'm fine with that. So 9 is the
All right.
the total.
You do a fair job of protecting the beastmen. One still does go down because obviously this is an exalt
Can't be
that's fighting
everyone's.
them.
Yeah.
But you don't suffer much yourself, and you do manage to protect many of them before he is put down.
I again being a martial like general type person, I immediately like anyone who is hurt, like I'll like help up and stuff, but I'm very quick to like compliment good form. I'm also trying to like say like anyone that's hurt, I'm like, you need to guard more with this shoulder, you have a strong right hook, etc. So I try and pick their brains a little bit, help them out, but otherwise I'm very congratulatory toward their
Jamal will begin clapping as well. Yes, well fought, indeed. Now, are all of the beastmen in your army quite as capable as these?
They would not have been chosen if they were not. And if they could not handle such a situation as this on their own, they're not worthy.
Well, it was truly impressive, defeating a dragon planet in such a manner, even bound. It is a feat nonetheless.
I'll go back and sit down and take my napkin off the table and put it back on my lap, even though I'm probably scuffed up and have like some blood and stuff on me at this point.
And Jamal will lean over to you as you sit next to him. See, I told you getting those shoulder measurements quite right. It was worth the extra 15 minutes.
You were right.
Raksi interrupts you.
You joined the fray. You did not strike a blow. Why is that?
I had the indication that you wanted this to be more educational, so I wanted to make sure I kept with your education.
And what lesson do you think was to be taught here?
If I had to guess from lessons that I could have gleaned from this, punishment for usurpers, I imagine would be the first social lesson that was being taught, but otherwise it would be what your enemy is capable of, even at such a state. So if you are to meet a usurper or several usurpers, as they tend to move in larger numbers, knowing exactly what to expect. And again, knowing what to expect from one without weapons. It's a good lesson to teach others.
It is a
And
good lesson, and it's one that I suspect you have need of. They are responsible for the state of this world. They must be put down.
I'm flattered.
And I was well on the path to doing so before certain involvements were done.
What stopped you?
I
I know you said it,
but as soon as you say it, I'm like,
slowly in your direction.
Oblivious to the fact that it was us with the whole thing with Richard.
Why, a few misguided individuals thinking that what matters is the protection of the people in that city. What matters is the war against those usurpers. What matters is the destruction of the realm, and this opportunity is coming, and you have delayed my progress.
we did not seek to impede your progress. We actually meant to move it several stages ahead, which is not a lie.
I'm not mad at you for your involvement. it. I do not judge you for it. You did what you felt was right. And though I do not agree with your decisions or your thoughts, I respect that you stood in my path and did not back down. However, there was one who should have known better. And she turns toward Lore and with a quick hand lashes out with a backhand against
that.
Lore.
I will try and
I gotta try to.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because that is her direct better hitting her, and so that's the thing.
Limit trigger. Oh god, here we go.
So rather than rolling a limit trigger, I would rather.
I will take to see who gets the defend other action, because I think you are contesting this with Theorem.
I think we're both going for it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're both.
So honestly, at this point, it's just who rolls higher is the one who's hand in front. But I don't think it's unheard of that both
join
of us would be
battles
like
for the two of you, just to see who gets there first, and whoever it is you substitute your parry for their defenses.
That was my assumption.
That's sick. That's cool.
If beaten, they can choose to damage you or continue the attack and then have to overcome her defenses as well.
I would help, guys, but all I can do is just dodge the hand, in which case I would fail by default. Because I would just hit the person that she intended. But I'm there with you in spirit. Okay,
I'm going for it reflexively only because I was going for it. However, I think that if I would have seen Deer going for it, I may have just been like, you know what, you can.
He's right next to her.
But it is my limit trigger, so I'm very compelled to be like, I can't let this happen, or I will go a little crazy.
Yep. I think Dirham is not seeking to stop the hand, but merely foul it and get it out of the way.
I mean, I'm straight up putting my hand like I'm
So
monkey pawing.
I presume you are. You
So
are
here's what's happening. This is a joined battle. You were opposing her as well, because it is an action to take the defend other. So you need to beat her on this joined battle in order to get your action. So the question is whether your reflexes are fast enough to beat hers.
The initiative.
And this kind of feels like an ambush.
Sure. Absolutely.
Nice. There we go, baby. Let's go.
Ooh, I got a pump now.
Yeah, you definitely do. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this is your past life lover or whatever.
I don't know what it is, but this doesn't
from another
feel
time.
Right. This doesn't
Yeah, I was gonna
feel
say
right.
I don't have feelings for Laura. I'm just like
Your
you're a cool
soul-
lady, Laura. But
Destiny.
I'm gonna pump 4 into this.
I got 2 10s.
I'm wasting on so much shit. If this becomes a brawl, I've sullied the well. Oh no.
That sounded bad.
So Mountain for his joined battle stunt time seems
No more post stunts. You guys have had this long enough.
We failed.
We are 28 sessions into this game.
we should be stunting earlier. That's fair.
27 of which were in the chart.
I will say, Dirham is looking to foul the hand rather than grab it and
Yeah, that's what defend other is.
okay.
Yep. So
I
what
thought
is
that
your...
was also what a stunt was, but fuck me, right?
Okay, you can have a $1 for that.
Question:
You can have $1.
Does she get like
I
any
said I
disadvantage
grabbed.
imposed because her hands are like backwards? Like it's kind of hard to slap somebody when your hands.
I think
are,
it's actually
Well,
probably
no, it's
hard to
actually
defend a
easier
backwards
to do a
hand.
backhand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Snaps
Because then you
front
get
hand.
this motion instead of that
Yeah.
motion.
okay, all right.
I got a 6.
I got a 7.
All right. In which case, with her, 7 mountain ties, which means it's a clash, which means they happen at the same time.
So what, George?
Does that
so what
mean it
happened?
succeeds?
So you get your defend other off. What is your parry?
We're gonna pump the parrying, just so we're clear. And my parry is a base 5, and we're gonna pump it to push it up to 7.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wait before because I haven't rolled it yet. It's not post stunt. Mountain again, just very beguiling for his size, and probably as someone who hasn't seen how Mountain moves, even though Lore is aware of it. He was talking as he had his hand steepled, and almost just as quickly he moves across the table, steam kind of billowing past all the food and stuff as he very effortlessly reaches that distance, but then holds his hand kind of directly in front of Lore in the path of the hand, accepting that he's going to be struck and it's probably going to hurt because I assume this lady's very strong. But he maintains the exact same demeanor. He doesn't lose any of his poise in the moment. He just reaches out, moves it, and continues kind of like eye contact with the queen.
Okay.
Come on.
That's a show of strength if I've ever seen one. That should
have
have
two
some
dots, so-
social bonuses. That was nice.
And then we have a total of 9. I assume that it's not going to work because it's
Come on,
the
come on.
queen, cannibal queen.
There's
So
a
if she wants to
chance.
go around it, then she's going to
There's
do
a
it. But
chance,
I'm
there's a
trying.
chance.
Do I get? I will say that if there's a threshold where I can just get in the way and get hit, I'm fine.
But that's what the threshold is, yes. But she
Got it.
does not beat you enough to get through also her defense, but that's
man.
also not what she was trying to do.
We should just trying to see if we would do something and be like, "You piss ants."
The
Well, it
hand,
worked.
the hand strikes out. You move yourself in the way, and as you do, it does strike you. The claws raking you. Let's see. What is your? Oh, you took apart your armor.
But I did say I wore my bracers, so my arm should have my armor unless you hit my chest.
Nice.
I did say I left my chest off so I
Yep.
can show my nice stuff.
Give him one soak.
I'll give you
That's-
your half soak.
There you go.
All
half
right,
soak.
so then
very kind.
2.
very kind.
I'll even go down.
Round it up,
I have
round it up.
2. No, I rounded down.
Don't have your stamina.
Right.
So still add your stamina in there as
So
normal.
Well, it's 5. It's 5
half
plus
for your
2.
jacket.
So yeah, but 5 for the thing would be 3 or 2.5. So we'll just round down to 2. So I have 4 so.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
And then I'll try and then depending if this hurts, I'll also try and use some charms because owie.
Well, she is going to be rolling 6 dice against you.
Oh, she hit. So she hit. So she's doing
Yes.
6 damage dice. I mean, I don't have initiative. So what does she see? Oh, I do have initiative.
Yeah.
So she is stealing initiative. I'm just not expecting it to continue. But I guess if it does, I should be like, in case you want to like dance all night. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll do the
It is a ballroom.
oak body technique.
She will roll her damage.
So it's
What is that?
-2.
Minus 2 to the dice. Or,
That is
And
correct.
result?
I can. Oh, I did learn how to harden my skin.
Hmm.
You know what? We don't do that because I don't see it right now.
Okay.
Oh wait, I do, but it doesn't matter. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, let it ride.
So you take 3 initiative damage.
Strong, but weak, soft. You will need to be fired in the crucible of life, it seems. See
haven't
what
had-
happens in this world. It'll
I
harden
haven't-
you in time.
And I say so respectfully. I haven't had as much time as you to be forged in those fires. I imagine there was a time where you had the kind of hope that we have.
Long ago.
We
But
wish.
hope has no place in war, and war is coming. War
Well,
is
you have to
here.
hope the war ends. The whole point of war is to win, and at the
Yeah.
end of that war, that is what your hope is for, right?
I do not
Otherwise,
need
we're just
hope,
fighting senselessly.
because I will be the one to end it. When the realm batters itself bloody against its own, then I will swoop. I will strike. I will destroy the realm, and this world will belong to those who have earned it, not those thieves, those usurpers.
This is what we do not wish them to be in power either, which is why we wish to see you further along in your goals.
Then see that you do not stand in my way further.
However, Dirham says, I have no intention of seeing the realm replaced by the realm in a different skin.
There will be no realm. There will be autarky. The realm is corrupted, poisoned by their treachery, and by trying to claim too much. We will divide up this land into pieces that are manageable for those with the strength to hold it. Do you have the strength to hold this land?
Yes.
Don't think you'd be talking to us if you didn't think we had the strength to hold this land.
Then you will need more fire in yourselves.
She reaches a hand up and snaps, and a beastman walks in with what looks like a mirror.
And perhaps some of your past can give you a little of that fire, if you have the courage to look.
Well, I always love looking at myself. Adramalik will stand up from the chair and walk over to the mirror, and he will unflinchingly take a look at himself, for better or for worse, without fully comprehending the context of what he has chosen to commit to.
I understand the context, but I'm
Adramalik, as you step forward in front of the mirror, for a moment you see yourself, but then the image wavers, flickers, and you see instead a partially masked man carrying a large bow, long hair drawn down, as you find yourself being drawn into a vision of the far, far past. That is where we will end it.
I knew that's
Oh, is that strings? Wait, hold up.
it's you, man.
That ain't strings. That's you.
Me with a mask and a bow? Oh, this is cool.
You in
What?
previous life, my dude.
Dun,
Oh
dun,
my.
dun, dun. This is cool.
And I'm trying real hard not to get us killed, but this is gonna be rough as fuck.
Thank you so much for taking the time to enjoy our show. Come back next week for the next part of our adventure, or join our Patreon for early access to the next episode, as well as a Patreon exclusive campaign of Rippers. Join our wonderful patrons Bubble Dirt and Nova Phoenix in supporting this show. And of course, don't forget to check out our tutorials and video plays on YouTube at The RPG Blender. If you want to stay up to date on our releases, you can join our Discord. Check the description for a link. Don't have Discord? No worries. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at RPG Blender, or subscribe on your podcast app of choice. Music is The Punk Rock Show by My Free Mickey. Copyright 2012, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution License. Thank you again, and remember, there's gaming outside the Forgotten Realms.
What's wrong, Mountain? You have that face that you look like when you're angry at me. But I've been here this whole time.
I'm sorry, I have a toddler, and like that is like if like Kate says something and it's like slightly like biting, she'll be like honey or something like that, and Quinn will be like, I didn't do anything. She's like, no, you're dad. Like